Hello guys, welcome back. So now we are in basic setting. So in basic setting, what we have seen these are the things which we have seen. Let me, okay. So it is like posting period variant, fiscal year variant, field status variant, number range, and document type. If we talk about the configuration part, right, within 5 minutes, all the configurations can be done. If we talk about explanations part, it's taking time because I have to code the examples now. So that is why it's taking time. It's okay, no issues. Now here, so that is why guys, when you talk about the videos, right? So videos means like you're going to watch the video maybe once, twice, thrice. Once you're able to understand the logic, isn't it? Once you're able to understand the logic, then no need to watch it again and again. If you have to do the configurations, simply better to note down the steps, the T codes and all. You can note it down, because twice or thrice if you do the configurations, let's suppose, then somehow, like, somewhere you guys are going to be familiar. Slowly you're going to be familiar with the screens and all, right? So just note it down, and later I'll tell you like what is the best way to practice, but we are in the beginning itself, don't worry. Now, so here we have to talk about tolerance group. What is this tolerance group? Okay, let's have a look. Look at here guys, tolerance group. It is also called tolerance limit. Now, so these are the settings, configurations, and the codes. We'll see that. First of all, tolerance group or tolerance limits refer to a way to make sure that employees do not exceed their limit. Which limit, guys? The limit in terms of either amount or discount or both in financial transaction. Okay. So here simply, if I have to proceed further for the configurations by just narrating this definitions and all, I think the understanding will be zero. Okay, your understanding will be zero. So here, first of all, you have to understand. Now, what is this tolerance group? Right? Tolerance group is going to control what? So those things we'll see with the help of example. Okay, I'll quote a very simple, pretty simple example here, and then you guys will come to know. Tolerance group. So what is this use of tolerance group? Okay, now say for example, there are three people. Okay, this example will continue even later also. So three users are there. When I say users means like employee of Tata Motors, since this implementations are happening for Tata Motor. So employee of Tata Motor, they are users. Ultimately, what will happen, guys? Users and consultant. What is the difference between user and consultant? So consultant means you people who has to configure this SAP. So if you set up this SAP, if you configure this SAP, so guys, we are doing this configurations, right? This implementation is going to happen for who is the client? Tata Motor. So consultant will do all the configurations, and which we are doing right now. Once the entire configuration is done, then what will happen, guys? It is going to be handed over to the Tata Motor, in the sense this SAP is going to be handed over to Tata Motor, and Tata Motor employees are going to use this SAP for day-to-day activity. So what exactly, like who is going to use this? Of course, Tata Motor. I mean to say employee of Tata Motor. So they are the users. So when I say user, it means employee of Tata Motor. Okay. So here, three users are there, A, B, and C. Now here, A is the part of vendor management team, B is the part of invoice posting team, and C is the part of payment processing team. Okay. I'll tell you guys, within the organizations, there'll be multiple teams will be there, departments will be there, right? Finance and account department, sales department, purchase department, that is called procurement department as well. Likewise, HR department. So within finance and account department, again, small teams will be there. Account payable, account receivable, right? In account payable, if you talk about account payable, there also like further segregations will be there. In account payable means the activity which belongs to vendor. Entire vendor related activities are going to be handled here by account payable team. So multiple activities are there, guys, isn't it? In account payable, let's suppose multiple vendors are there. So those vendors supposed to be set up into SAP. Who is going to set up those vendor? So there will be a master data team, that is called vendor master team or vendor management team. These people are going to handle this vendor creations, modifications related activity. What is this vendor creations? What is this vendor modifications? How to do these all things? As I said, once I start account payable, you guys will be having a complete idea about that. Okay. Now, so some people are going to handle vendor related activities. Some people, like in account payable, what happened, guys? Generally, so payable means like procurement related activities. If Tata Motor or any organizations, let's suppose, is manufacturing something, they need certain raw material to manufacture that end product. So in that case, they are going to procure those materials from a particular supplier. Those suppliers are called vendors. So they are going to procure this raw materials from a particular vendor. When the vendors are selling these raw materials, what will happen, guys? The sales or purchase, whatever the B2B sales or purchase are happening, it's happening on credit basis, not on its cash transactions are taking place, but very less. Small amount of what you say transactions are taking place in on cash basis, remaining like whatever the big amounts are there, it will be on credit basis itself, right? So now, so here what happened? So here, when we procure something from, I mean to say, when we purchase something from vendor is going to deliver the goods along with invoices. So there will be a particular team which is going to handle invoices. They will post invoices on regular basis because multiple procurements are taking place. For big organizations, guys, procurement means number of procurements are more and it's a continuous activity. So on daily basis, various invoices, multiple invoices we are receiving, and those invoices supposed to be recorded, posted into SAP. Then the third one is payment processing team. Once the invoice got posted into SAP, guys, it means it's your liability. Invoice got posted. So it means we have procured a goods worth of 10K, right? Or 100K or 200K, whatever, right? So this much worth of goods we have procured. But what about the payment? Is it paid? Like, have we made the payment? No, it's not paid yet, right? We have not made payment. So now so what we have to do, guys? So in that case, like after certain time, if the invoice is posted today, So after 30 days or 45 days or 60 days, the payments are going to be released. In the sense, the payments are going to be made to the vendor. So those payments also supposed to be posted into SAP. Okay, so payment processing team will be there, guys. Okay. So now here what is happening? These three people are there. They are saying they have a plan. Like they made a plan. A is saying that I'll just do one thing. I'll set up a dummy vendor into SAP. Okay. I'll set up a dummy vendor into SAP. So in vendor master, guys, multiple details will be there. Let's suppose invoice is going to be posted against a particular vendor account. So first of all, that vendor account must be set up. I can understand as a beginner, of course, like you guys are not able to imagine or you guys are not able to visualize the screen, which I'm able to, right? But don't worry, guys. As I said, like slowly, one by one, everything's are going to be covered. Okay. So these things we'll see practically also. Now, so here what is happening? Let's suppose. So here, invoice is going to be posted against a vendor. So first of all, vendor master is supposed to be set up. That is going to be set up by a particular team that is called master data team. Okay. And particularly I have seen like in there are multiple organizations where vendor master team like master data management, right? So vendor master team will be separate team will be there for who maintains the vendor master. Customer master data team will be separately. They are going to maintain only customer related what you say master data. So anyway, so vendor management team is going to maintain the vendor master. Then invoice processing team is going to process the invoices. So now here A is saying that I'll maintain a dummy vendor. Okay. And B is going to post a dummy invoice against this vendor. B is going to post a dummy invoice against this vendor. And then what is happening, guys? C is going to release the payment. Okay. When you talk about payment, let's suppose what is the use of vendor master, guys? Multiple uses are there. In vendor master, we are having multiple details. Okay. And that you guys will come to know in account payable. Let's suppose if the payment is going to be transferred. Okay. So the question is, payment will be transferred to which bank account? How to to which bank account? So what happened, guys? Let's suppose. So are we going to ask the bank account from vendor? You can ask maybe once or twice. Every time you cannot ask the payment, the bank details, isn't it? Okay, and multiple things. So those bank details, where like let's suppose if we got the details, bank details and all, these bank details are going to be specified here in vendor master. Okay, bank details are going to be stored in vendor master, and multiple other details are also going to be stored in the vendor master. Okay, so now here these activities are happening. They plan that a dummy vendor is going to be created. Okay, and then an invoice worth of, let's suppose, 1 lakh or 10 lakh or 15 lakh or 20 lakh, right? 1 CR, or else like 1 million, 2 million, 10 million, whatever the amount is there, they're going to post a dummy invoice and then the payment is going to be released. In the sense, payment is also going to be posted. Okay. So it means like that is their plan to make a fraud. Okay. But I'll tell you guys, if you talk about any particular ERPs, so it was developed by a team of people. So at ground level employees, if they're having such kind of plan and all, what about the people who has developed this SAP? They also might have thought about these things, right? So for that, SAP has already given various control. So it is impossible to make such kind of frauds. We're having different control, guys. Those controls also we'll see one by one, but this time what is happening? We have to talk about this tolerance group. So tolerance group is also providing certain kind of controls only. What kind of control, guys? Control means, if you have a look here, with the help of tolerance group, what is happening, guys? We can put certain restrictions on employees. What kind of restrictions, guys? Look at here in terms of amount or discount. First of all, we'll see in terms of amount. In terms of amount, certain restrictions are going to be, okay, now here. Okay, let's talk about the restrictions here. So let's suppose we have defined a tolerance group. We have defined a tolerance group. Okay, and against this tolerance group, what is happening, guys? In this tolerance group, we have given a limit of 2 lakhs. Okay, and in that we have assigned the user ID of, let's suppose, A, B, and C. Okay, so generally, what happened, guys? So we have to define a tolerance group. In that tolerance group, we are going to give certain limits, amount related limits. I have given a limit of 2 lakhs. So what will happen? A, B, and C. These user ID we have assigned against this tolerance group. So what will happen when the A is going to post A will not be able to post the transactions because they went in the master data. B and C, they are going to post the transactions. So when the B and C is trying to post the transactions, then what will happen, guys? There is already restrictions we have given that they cannot post the transactions which is more than 2 lakh. So this is a very small amount, right? This is a very small amount, guys. By this, like, their plans are going to be like, if we talk about the employees, they'll be having a particular salaries and all, right? So here, if they have planned, if they're going to plan for a big amount, for not for a smaller amount, but here already restrictions are given that they can post an invoice worth of this much amount only. If any invoice which is more than this particular if any invoice which is going to exceed this limit, then they won't be able to post it, right? So I said like 2 lakhs. If 100 lakhs means, then 50 times they have to post different transactions, guys, right? So at the time of payment processing also, multiple checks are going to be like, there will be multiple verifications process also will be there, guys. Easily they are going to be caught. Right now it is not possible to explain all those things. We'll see those one by one. Okay, so this is one of the limit. Tolerance group means, or tolerance limit means, we can put certain restrictions on the employee. Okay, these people cannot post invoice which is more than 2 lakh. Okay, or which is more than 5 lakh or 10 lakh. So such kind of restrictions can be. Now, so the question is, okay, these people cannot post an invoice which is more than 2 lakh. Okay, B and C. They cannot post invoice which is more than 2 lakh. Then what about those invoices? If any invoice is worth of 10 lakh or 5 lakh, who is going to post that invoice? Right? So again, maybe like in this team, like these people are like basic, in the sense, ground level people. Right? They are the associate. You can say process associate. There'll be senior also will be there. Seniors will be, people will be there. TL will be there, right? Team leads. Okay. So whoever the senior associates, in the sense like senior people are there, they are going to post those invoices. Okay. So here tolerance group means applying certain restrictions in terms of amount and discount. We'll talk about discount. But what is happening, guys? So what is happening? We have to define a tolerance group, and there we are going to give certain limits. Now the question is, how many tolerance group can be defined, guys? Multiple tolerance group can be defined. Multiple tolerance group can be defined. I'll tell you. Now here, let's suppose put it here or here. Now tolerance group 1, tolerance group 2, and tolerance group 3. Pre-tolerance group, I'm going to. Multiple tolerance group can be defined. Every tolerance group will be having different limits, guys. Okay. Every tolerance groups are going to have a different limits. Here, like let's suppose 2 lakhs. Okay. Here there will be a limit of, let's suppose, 10 lakhs. And here unlimited. Unlimited means, when you talk about unlimited, guys, 10 times 9 we are going to give. Okay. Is it 10 times 9? Okay. So 10 times 9 we are going to give. So now here, this is called unlimited. Okay. I'll just type here, guys, 2 lakhs here, and here this is unlimited. Unlimited. Okay. So these are the limits we have given in tolerance group 1, tolerance group 2, tolerance group 3. Okay. Now what is happening, guys? This tolerance group, when you set up this tolerance group, guys, at the time of creation itself, we have to decide whether it is going to be set up for Tata Motor, Tata Steel, Tata Chemical, isn't it? Tata Motor, Tata Steel, Tata Chemical. Okay. Now, what next here, guys? The next one is, so let's suppose the ground level people, whatever the ground level people, in the sense like the junior people, okay, these people, their user IDs are going to be assigned here against this tolerance group. Their user IDs are going to be assigned against this tolerance group. Here, whatever the senior people are there, their user IDs will be assigned here. Like let's suppose, okay, so these are the 3 candidates, their user IDs assigned against this tolerance group, right? And here, certain user IDs assigned against this tolerance group. So what does it mean, guys? If any invoice which is up to 2 lakh can be posted by these users. When the invoice which is more than 2 lakh, if somebody is trying to post from this, among these people, they won't be able to post. SAP will throw error that you are not eligible to post, like you are already reaching, like whatever the maximum amount limit is there, right? So that is, it's in the sense limit is going to exceed. So that is why what is happening, guys? They will get error message. Okay, so who is going to post more than 2 lakh until 10 lakh? These people. And if it is more than 10 lakh, then these are the 2 employee can post it. In the sense, like the TL team leads can post these kind of, like the invoice which is more than 10 lakh. Senior associate, in the sense seniors are going to post. Even these people are also senior itself, but I'm talking about in terms of hierarchy, right? designations and all. So senior associate is going to post the invoices which is till 10 lakh, from 2 lakh till 10 lakh. And whatever the process associate, in the sense junior people, they'll be able to post the invoices. So tolerance group is going to be set up. What should be the limits here? Who is going to decide these limits, guys? This is going to be decided by clients only. We are not going to decide. And what about these discussions, guys? These kind of discussions are not going to happen at the time of blueprint preparations. Or else, if we started doing such kind of discussions at the time of blueprint preparations, guys, client will be having zero clue about these things, right? And if they don't have basic ideas, then they will say, no, let's keep a one-on-one meeting, right? First of all, you have to explain this, the use, the functionality, the control, each and everything, and then they will say, okay, will take some time. So if such kind of things are going to be discussed at the time of blueprint preparations, then blueprint discussion itself is going to take maybe 6 months, because there are various such kind of input we need from client side. So these things are going to be discussed, and we get this input in realization phase. Once we started the configurations, now I have to configure this tolerance group. So simply we ask that you tell us now what should be the limit here. Then they will say what is the use of this. We can explain. They are going to put the limit, and in the sense they will specify the limit. That limits are going to be specified. Okay. How many tolerance group need to be created? That also we can get input from client. They will say whether 2 tolerance group, 3 tolerance group, or single tolerance group. Okay. Now, against every tolerance group, how many users are going to be assigned? That is also going to be decided by those people. Okay. How many users and which users? Which users are going to be assigned here? Which users are going to be assigned here? Which users are going to be assigned here? These all decisions will be taken by clients. Okay. They will provide the list, and that is going to be assigned here. Okay. Now, question is, can we assign a single user against all 3 tolerance group? No, right? It's impossible. You can assign one user ID against one tolerance group itself. You cannot assign one user ID against multiple tolerance group. See, logically, you look at here. Logically, if let's suppose I want to assign the user ID F here also and here also. Why to assign user ID F here and here? It means if you're like, let's suppose your requirement is that if I assign user ID F here, it means 2 lakh worth of invoices will be able to post. This F is able to post the invoices which is till 2 lakh. At the same time, if you assign this F here, then 10 lakh worth of invoices are also going to be. So directly you assign F here itself. If you assign F here itself, then what is happening? Till 10 lakh. Not only generally, as per rule, from 2 lakh till 10 lakh, these people are going to post. It doesn't mean that if it is less than 2 lakh, these people are not going to. Here, the maximum limit we have given 10 lakh. It means 0 to 10 lakh. So instead of assigning F here and here both, you can assign here. Or if somebody says that I want to assign this A in all 3. Right? Are we going to give in all 3? No. All 3 means you are saying that 2 lakh also, 10 lakh also, and unlimited also. Instead of that, you assign A here itself directly. So unlimited means, of course, A will be able to post the invoice which comes under this range, this range. Unlimited means from 0 to unlimited, right? So this is why generally what happens, guys, one user ID can be assigned against only one tolerance group. Okay, now, So there is a message from Sandeep here. When the user ID unlimited, technically he can post from 0 to unlimited. Yes. So 0 to unlimited, always. 0 to 2 lakh, 0 to 10 lakh, and 0 to unlimited. Okay. That is the things. Now here, okay. So this is about the like amount related control, in the sense like user cannot post the transactions which is more than this amount if that user ID falls under this tolerance group. If that user ID is linked against this tolerance group, likewise 10 lakh and unlimited. So these are the restrictions in terms of amount. Even we are having restrictions in terms of discounts also. What is this restrictions in terms of discount, guys? I'll tell you. Let's suppose this, let's suppose there is a customer, okay, and already a goods worth of 1 million, in the sense like 10 lakhs already sold to the customer. Now it's time to receive payment from customer. So what happened, guys? Let's suppose this user, any user, let's suppose the user B. This B is very clever. B is going to have a personal setting with the customer saying that you just do one thing. You just pay only 50%. And remaining 50%, I'm going to clear your invoice. In the sense like 50% means 5 lakh is going to be paid by customer, and remaining 5 lakh, this B is going to put a 50% discount. At the time of transaction posting, B is going to give a 50% discount, and then B will be able to post the payment, and invoice and payment both are going to be cleared. Okay. So now what is happening, guys? The customer has the invoice worth of 10 lakh, but the customer has paid only 5 lakh, and remaining 5 lakh that B has posted 50% discount, that we have given 50% discount. Okay, and that is like that invoice is cleared. Okay. See, I'll tell you generally what happened if you talk about the invoices, customer invoice or vendor invoice, whatever it is. So if I have posted an invoice worth of any amount, let's suppose 10K. So this invoice is treated as open item. What is this open item, guys? So let's suppose this is customer invoice. Okay. This 10K worth of customer invoice. So it means we have sold a goods worth of 10,000 rupees to the customer. Right? No matter whichever currency you guys are using, you can assume in your currencies, right? So here, since I'm using like INR here as a currency, so that is why I quote here in Indian currency. Okay, so in 10,000 rupees, that goods, 10,000 worth of goods we have sold to a particular customer. So here, as I said, like B2B purchase, B2B sales are happening on credit basis. So 10,000 worth of goods we have sold to the customer. Have we received the payment? No, not yet, right? So 10K worth of goods we have sold. It is going to be, this invoice got posted into SAP, and it will be treated as an open item. Open item means invoice only posted. We have sold the goods, but the payment we have not received yet. So this is 10,000 worth of invoice. Okay. Now what will happen, guys? Later we are going to receive payment worth of 10K. Then what will happen? This open item invoice is open. Once we receive the payment, then what is happening, guys? This is like your debit, and this is going to be credit. Debit and credit, in the sense plus and minus, is going to nullify. It becomes 0. 10,000 worth of invoice, 10,000 worth of payment we have received. So now this is going to be 0, and both line items are going to be cleared. How it is going to happen? So once I start account receivable, guys, there I'll show this practically, don't worry. So this is what is happening. Now, here what happened, we is saying that instead of 10K, you just do one thing, you pay 5K only, and still I'm going to make this zero. 10K worth of invoice and payment we have received 5K only. How it is going to be? Zero. So at the time of posting this payment, we will choose 50% discount. Okay, 50% discount. So in that case, only 5K payment we can receive. Like we have received 5K payment, and remaining 5K is, since we have given the discount, B is posted discount worth of 50%, right? And let's suppose B may get some personal commissions from the customer. This may also happen. Generally, this will not happen, but just assume that I'm quoting an example so that you guys will be able to understand the control of the tolerance group, right? Now, so in that case, so this is also the chances of fraudulencies and all, right? Now, so let's suppose now SAP is saying that you just do one thing. Now we are going to put a restrictions. Okay. Maximum discount can be granted by these people is 5%. Here let's suppose 10%, and here by these people 20%. Okay. And the discount will not be more than 20%. The highest discount is 20%, and that too given by tolerance group 3. In the sense, whichever user IDs are assigned against TG3, those people only will be able to grant 20% discount. Now what is happening, guys? We saying that if you pay half amount also, no worries, I can post remaining amount as a discount, and your this invoice and payment, both line items are going to be settled, it is going to be cleared. Okay. When we is trying to post this with the 50% discount, SAP thrown error that your maximum limit is 5% only. Right? In that case, we will not be able to post this payment. So still the invoice is open item only. Okay. So now here, what is the use of tolerance group, guys? Tolerance group, the use of tolerance group is like tolerance group is, look at here. So we are going to provide a limit in terms of amount and discount. Amount and discount. Okay. So this is what the restrictions. Certain restrictions. Okay. And that too user wise. User wise in the sense, look at here. Under TG1, we are having multiple users we have assigned. So for these users, these are the restrictions. For these users, these are the restrictions. For these two users, this is the restrictions. Okay. This is what the use of tolerance group. Okay. Now I'll just do one thing. Let me log in. Now here, anybody is having any question, guys? Question from here, Venkatesh. That is TG3 activities are transferred into TG1 and TG2. See, I'll tell you generally what is happening. TG3 activities. Venkatesh, can you elaborate like what exactly you're trying to ask? See, I'll tell you, right? Tell me, Venkatesh.
Sir, if TG3 gives the discount of 10%, it it will be transparent to TG1 and TG2.
See, it will be
They
transferred
can
means
they can view this discount amount also, sir. TG2 and TG1.
TG2 can use this 10%, in the sense TG2, in the sense this G, H, I and these people, in the sense these users, they can grant a maximum discount up to 10%, 0 to 10%.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And these people, they can grant a discount up to 0 to 5%. And here this J and K, they can grant a discount up to 0 to 20%. That is what the restriction, simple.
Yeah, okay, okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. Now here there is further challenges. We'll see that. But first of all, let me do one thing. First of all, you define a tolerance group. Okay. So what is the transaction code, guys? For tolerance group, it is OB, I think A4. Let me check it. Yes, OBA4. How you have to define this tolerance group, guys? Here, I'll tell you, there are multiple people who gets error at the time of practice. Why? Because initially, what is happening? I'll tell you. Let's suppose I have defined an inventory. What kind of error people are going to? So I'll tell you guys, when you are going to define this tolerance group, right? What you have to do? Don't give anything here in group field. You just simply give your company code here. You give a company code and keep this group field as a blank only. Okay. Now the question is, why blank? Why blank? Because I already said, like, tolerance group we have to define, right? So 3 tolerance group we have to define. So can't we define this 3 tolerance group? Of course you can define. But initially what happened, guys, as a beginner, as a freshers, where is the major mistake? People, let's suppose I have defined a tolerance group here, TC1, and my company code is TM20. Okay. Certain limits are going to be given here. So right now I will, okay, I'll put a limit for 1000 here, and again 1000 here. Okay. Or else, like, give a small amount, so that what will happen when we post the invoice in the sense transaction, the system will throw error. So at that point of time, you guys will come to know. Very small limit I have given. Okay, in real time the limits will be big. Okay. And let's suppose 5% discount. Okay. Here you can give either amount or percentage. Let's suppose here 10 and 10. What is the logic behind this? That also I'll explain. So now I have given these things. Now here, save it. Easy one. So there is a question from Sandeep here. Can the same invoice be posted in the 3 groups and avail the maximum discount, like 5% plus 10% plus 20%? Not like that, dear. I think now you are still some, like, you're not able to understand the situation, in the sense the things which I'm explaining. But don't worry, as I said, like, practically these all things once again will be, you guys are going to see once we proceed further. Once we post the transactions, then the clarity will be 100%, right? So you can avail only one discount, right? You can avail only one, either 5% or 10% or 20%. If you say 5% also, 20% also, 10% and plus 20%, so what is the overall percentage? 35%, right? So here the maximum percentage is 20%, isn't it? So that is the maximum. Either, like, it means 5% or 10% or 20%, right? So maximum percentage is 20. So this is what the maximum discount people can, in the sense, invoice, somebody can provide. and that too 20% means if the invoice is going to be, in the sense if the payment is going to be posted, if the transaction is going to be posted by J and K, then these people will be having, these people are having that much authorizations, in the sense these people can grant 20% discount. If any invoice is going to be posted, if the invoice, I'll tell you guys, let's suppose I said payment. Payment can be posted only once, right? You cannot post the same payment thrice. If we have received the payment from vendor, so only one payment you have, like 10,000 worth of invoice we have posted, right? Sorry, if we have received a payment from customer. So one payment cannot be posted thrice. If you have received a payment worth of 8,000 rupees, it means customer is asking 20% discount. So that is going to be posted by these people, because if these users and these users, if they are trying to post, so their limit is 5% and 10% only. But here in this case 20% discount we have to grant. Okay, so customer has paid 8,000. So 8,000 means it is going to be, that payment is going to be posted by these people. So that 8,000 payment we have received and 20% discount is going to be given. Isn't it? It's not like that this 5% plus 10% plus 20%. No, it's not like that. It means 3 times we have to post. How come it possible, right? Right? It is not possible. Now, so here, let me do one thing first of all. I said amount limit, right? Now here we are having 2 fields. Here also certain limit I have given. Here also certain limit I have given. Here also limit I have given in terms of amount. Here also limit I have given in terms of amount. What is the difference? There are lots of people, they don't know the differences. Simply, I have seen every faculties are saying, if you watch the videos on YouTube, guys, people are saying that you give here like a maximum limit means 10 times 9 here, 10 times 9 here, right? Give a discount percentage here, give certain amount here, give certain amount here and post it. First of all, we need to know what is the control here of this field. What is the control of this field? Discount means anyway we know this. Discount percentage can be given, and that also you guys can, we'll test it later. There'll be a particular topic for that in upcoming season. Isn't it? Now, okay. So you just, if you save it, now you just save it. Okay. What is the difference between these 2 line item, guys? So look at here. Here amount per document and amount per open item. See, 2 kind of transactions are there. Amount per document. In the sense, like let's suppose amount, the transactions related to amount. So 2 kind of, like certain kind of transactions are there. One is like, let's suppose I said rent related transactions. Okay. Audit fee are transactions which is related to audit fee. Transactions related to rent. Transactions related to salaries. These kind of transactions are called JV, general voucher. Okay. So in such kind of transactions, what is happening, guys? The chances of fraudulencies are 0. Where is the chances of fraudulencies? When, like, let's suppose when the customer invoice is going to be posted, when the vendor invoice is going to be posted. So customer invoice and vendor invoice, these items are called open items. I think this clarity you guys will come to know in upcoming session. That is why I says that whatever the things are being explained right now, certain things will be like, some clarity you guys will be getting now, some clarity you guys are going to get in upcoming session, because in a single session it is not possible to explain each and everything, and it creates sometimes confusion also, but again automatically it is going to be clarified, isn't it? That is why I have seen, I don't know like why, like but that is the reason maybe people are not explaining much. But anyway, If I don't explain much, then your understanding will be like very less. Now here, so JV means, let's suppose salary related transactions, rent, audit fee, fuel expenses, whatever such kind of transactions are there, that is called JV. And customer related transactions, customer invoice, vendor invoice, these are called open items. In the sense, invoices, once we have posted, this is called open invoice. Once we receive the payment, that is going to be closed. So customer and vendor related, for customer and vendor related transactions, here you can give the restrictions. For JV related transactions, here we can give the restrictions. This you guys will be able to visualize in upcoming session, don't worry. Now, so that is why we are having two different fields. What is the use of this 10 and 10? I'll tell you. So revenue and expense. Revenue, it was written revenue and expense. Let's suppose we have like a vendor invoice worth of, let's suppose 10,001 rupees. Okay, a vendor invoice worth of 10,001 rupees. Then what is happening? The payment we are going to make worth of 10,000 only in round figure. So what will happen? One rupee is a very negligible amount, guys. So anyway, in that case, what is happening? Vendor will not say that why you have not paid 1 rupees, because this is a very small amount, right? So always, let's suppose if it is such kind of chains are there, like let's suppose 10,001 rupees. Okay. And here we have made the payment of 10,000. So there is a difference of what, guys? There is a difference of 1 rupees. So when we are going to post these transactions, invoice is saying 10,001 and payment is saying 10,000. So let's suppose there is one debit and one credit. Here debit must be equals to credit. But here what is happening, guys? Debit and credit is not equal. So what about this transaction? System will not allow you to post. Okay. So here we have given this limit that no, if any such kind of differences are there till 10 rupees, system should allow. Right? Small differences. So now here what is happening, guys? This 1 rupees differences. So this is like 10,001 is the invoice and 10,000 payment we are going to make. So still we are having a benefit of 1 rupees, guys. It's a profit itself, you can say, right? So profit itself, you can say it's a kind of benefit because 10,000 worth of invoice and we are paying only 10,000. 10,001 rupees worth of invoice, we are paying only 10,000. So look at here, revenue 10 and expense 10. Okay. So profit in the sense, you can say it's a kind of that is coming under revenue year 10, and apart from this expense 10. Expense 10 in the sense like what is happening? The same 1 rupees in case of customer, we have posted an invoice worth of 10,001 and we have received payment worth of only 10,000. So here this 1 rupees expense in the sense it is loss. Expenses or losses, you can say, right? We have sent an invoice worth of 10,001 rupees to the customer. Customer has made payment in round figure. So there is a loss of 1 rupees. So either it could be your income gain or revenue, whatever you say, right? Benefit or is losses. In both way it could be. So till a difference of 10 rupees. Let's suppose we have posted an invoice worth of 10,001 rupees and customer is paying only 10,000. It doesn't mean that you guys will say that no, where is remaining 1 rupees? Why didn't you pay? This is a very negligible amount, right? So till how much we can tolerate? So we can tolerate till 10 rupees or till 100 rupees or till 50 rupees. This also you can get it from client. Okay. Now here there is a question from Mehboob here. The invoice 1000, right? If we give 5% discount, then discount amount will be 50. But if we define 500 and 5% set as a tolerance discount, so which one system will consider? You don't have option here, right? This 5000, this 500 is not related to discount amount. Okay, this 500 related to your transactional amount. If you post a transactions worth of, let's suppose this 500 is small amount I have given. Okay, generally I'm going to give you, let's suppose 1 lakh, let's suppose, and here also let's suppose 1 lakh. So it means, what does it mean, guys? You can post a transactions up to 1 lakh. If the transaction is going to exceed 1 lakh, system will not allow for this tolerance group. It means whichever user ID is assigned against this tolerance group, for those users, transactions which is more than worth of 1 lakh is not allowed. Okay, and also a discount percentage 5% we have given. If this user is trying to post a transactions and in that user is trying to give a discount more than 5%, then also it is not possible. So this is discount percentage and this is related to transactions. Okay, it is not like both are here. I think maybe some misunderstanding will be there. You're thinking that 5% here and here I have given an amount. So that this also you're thinking as a discount only. No, this is transactional amount. Okay, this is transactional amount. And as I said, like, see, when we talk about any restrictions, guys, we have not posted any transactions. That is why it's a bit difficult to understand and you're having multiple questions. Once we post the transactions, your entire questions are going to be clarified automatically. That is why what I have done, guys, I have given a small range here. In the sense, I have given a small number. Why? I have given a small number in the sense here, like 500 restrictions transaction. We cannot post a transactions in the sense, let's suppose this group TG1, under this tolerance group, like let's suppose I'm going to link my user ID. So what will happen? I cannot post a transactions which is more than 500. Why I have given 500 only? Because later when I post a transactions worth of 1000, SAP will throw error. When SAP will throw error that you are not supposed to post a transactions which is more than 500. At that point of time, I'll be asking to you people, let me know what is the root cause of this error. So you must be at that point of time, maybe some of you will be able to realize or you'll be able to remember that we have given this restrictions here, right? So we have to come back and we have to increase the limit here. Okay, that is why knowingly I have given a very small limit. Generally in real time, this much limit is not going to be given. Of course, it will be more. But knowingly I have given a small limit so that at the time of transaction posting, what is happening? I'll be getting error. But when you guys are going to define, guys, you can give a maximum limit here. Okay, you can give like 10 times 9s here also and 10 times 9s here also. Okay, you can define like this. You have to define like this. Okay, and don't give anything here in TG1. In the sense, don't give anything here in group field. Why? There is a logic behind that also. There is a logic behind that also. Okay, here let's suppose, just save it. You have to define like this. Now I'll give a small limit because later there will be an error also. Just save it. Now I have given like here tolerance group 1. Likewise tolerance group 2, tolerance group 3 also can be defined. But one user ID can be assigned against only one tolerance group. And you have only one user ID, that is your user ID. So what is happening? Now here, go to OB57. And here, what is your my username is like, let's suppose. So let's suppose now mine is like this one. Just save it. Now So here click on new entry. In the sense my user ID is not assigned against any tolerance group. Okay. So here I have given my this one. And what is the tolerance group? TZ1. Okay. One user ID can be assigned against only one tolerance group, guys. One user ID cannot be assigned against multiple tolerance group. Now you save it. Why I said that don't give anything under tolerance group, because the reason behind is you guys, let's suppose, are going to set up 2-3 company code, isn't it? So for every company code you'll be having certain different tolerance group. So let's suppose for Tata Motor I have defined this TG1, and for Tata Steel I'm going to define a different tolerance group TS1. So whenever I do a practice for Tata Motor TG1 and Tata Steel TS1. So when you guys are going to do a practice for Tata Steel, then what will happen for Tata Steel? I have defined another tolerance group TS1, right? But you cannot assign your user ID against TS1 because it is already assigned against one tolerance group. So the same user ID cannot be assigned to the multiple tolerance group. In that case, what is happening when you post a transactions for Tata Steel, system will throw error because a tolerance group is already created, but your user ID is not linked against that tolerance group, so you won't be allowed to post the transactions. That is what the major challenge is. That is why I says that don't give anything under group field. So what will happen, guys? And here, since I'm having multiple other company codes also, so now what is happening? My user ID is already got assigned here against TG1. Now, if I try to post a transaction against a different company code, then system will not allow me to post a transaction. Let's suppose I'm already having, let's suppose a company code is already defined. Let's suppose this is TM50. This is a different company code. Okay. Now let me check. So here I'm going to give a GL account and press enter. Okay. No amount tolerance entered in the company code TM50. Okay. In the sense like there will be conflict in the sense for this one TM50, right? My user ID is already assigned against TM22 tolerance group, and this is a different company code. For this company code, a different tolerance group will be there. In that case, what is happening? There will be a conflict. So one user ID can be assigned against only one tolerance group. So what is happening? What you have to do? You just remove it and save it. Okay. And when you go to /n ob a4, okay, you come here. What is my tolerance group, guys? TZ1 and company code TM22. So how you have to define? You just delete this. No need to give the group code. Simply keep group field blank and give your company code directly TM22. And then here you can give a limit here. Let's suppose you people are going to provide, you have to give this limit. In this sense, maximum amount. Okay, 5%, 10 and 10, and press enter. Okay, and then you can save these transactions so that you guys will not be getting any error later. See, once you have a perfect idea, then there is no problem. But initially, what is happening, guys? Of course, certain errors you guys are going to get. If you enter a group code here, right now, what is happening? There is no group code. It is blank. This is called blank tolerance. Okay, so blank tolerance group is applicable for all user IDs. No need to assign any user ID against blank tolerance group. Okay, this is, it means whatever limits we have given, this limit is applicable to all user ID. So user ID assignment is not required. When the user ID assignment is not required, in that case, what is happening, guys? You can define tolerance group for the multiple company codes and keep this tolerance group as a blank. Okay, don't give any group code here. In that case, your user IDs are not going to be assigned against a particular tolerance group. Where is the problem? The problem will be there if you assign your user ID against a particular tolerance group, then only the problem is there, right? If the assignment itself is not there, then there is no error. I know that most of you are getting confused whatever I'm explaining here, because the level of visualizations which I'm having, you guys are not having, because you are a beginner. Means we started our journey just now, right? So that is why this confusion is there. But anyway, don't worry, it is going to be clarified slowly once we proceed further, isn't it? It is going to be clarified gradually once we proceed further. Right now, what you have to do, you have to define this in this way only. Okay, don't give any group code here. And as I said, what is the use of this tolerance group? So the tolerance group is, look at here, it is having certain control. It is going to have certain control. What kind of control? So control means the employee do not exceed certain limit. In terms of what? In terms of amount and discount. Such kind of restrictions we are going to provide here in terms of tolerance group. So tolerance group for employee that we have defined, there is another tolerance group called tolerance group for GL. That is not possible to explain right now, guys, that because the relevant settings we have to do later. Okay, there'll be like this logic you guys will be able to understand. There is another one is like tolerance group for employee. OBA4 we have already done. This is tolerance group for employee. So employee means for users. When they post a transactions, they cannot exceed this limits. There is another tolerance group that is called OBA0. That also you have to define. But right now you guys are going to define as a mandatory setting. The logic behind this is not possible to explain right now. This logic you guys will come to know later. There will be a topic called FI MM integrations. There we are having certain clearing account you have to create. So at that point of time, you guys will come to know. So right now what you have to do, you have to just set up as a mandatory setting. Give your company code here. Simply a descriptions can be given. And here give a particular amount, debit credit. Okay, as I said, this logic is not possible to explain right now. What is the logic behind this? That you guys will come to know. During FIM integrations, I have to set up a particular clearing account, because right now again it is not possible to explain what is this clearing account. What is the use of that? Even if I explain also, you guys will be having zero understanding, because before that lots of topic I have to explain, isn't it? So one by one, those things are going to be explained. So right now what is happening? You have to set up this one, tolerance group for GL, as a mandatory setting. The logic will be explained in upcoming session, in the sense that you guys will come to know in upcoming session. Now here, don't put more and more stress about this one. Okay, simple. I said you just have a focus on this one. What is the use of this tolerance group and tolerance limits? So this tolerance group settings is having certain control. What kind of controls we are going to put? The controls in terms of amount and in terms of discount. If you have given a limit of 2 lakh, it means the employees cannot exceed that limit. Okay, if you post a transaction and if you have given a limit worth of 2 lakh, so employee cannot post a transactions which is more than 2 lakh. Okay, if you have given a discount percentage 5%, employees, in the sense users, cannot exceed this limit. In that some more conditions may appear, but I'll tell you guys, it's better to discuss once we post the transaction, because right now even if we are going to discuss again the kind of visualizations, in the sense I'm able to visualize each and every screen, but you guys are not able to visualize each and every screen. The reason behind is we are in the very like beginning only. starting only. Okay, so that is all about this tolerance group. I have to explain some more thing, guys, but again, if that is going to be, if I ask that things and all, I think again it is going to create confusions, isn't it? So that's what I said simply, that you create a tolerance group, you create a blank tolerance group. Don't give any code here, right? I said like OPA4 tolerance group for employee. I said you create a blank tolerance group. Group field will be blank. Company code you can give. That's it. No need to give anything here in group field. Group field. If you give a code, then you must have to assign your user ID. And if you assign your user ID, then what is happening? You will be able to post a transaction for this company code only. For other company code, system will not allow you to post the transactions. So you'll be having error. Okay, that is the logic. That is why I said that no, don't do this. Okay, now I'm having like, okay, so this is about the tolerance group, guys. Simple. What is the use of tolerance group? As I said, so it is having certain control in terms of amount and in terms of discount. Whatever restrictions we are going to give here, when the users are going to post the transactions, if the transactions worth of more than this amount, then user will not be able to post. Okay. If discount is,
Rihan is there. I have a doubt.
yeah, tell me.
So suppose a invoice amount is 10,000. I have to payment part payment of 10,000. Suppose I have to pay 8,000 of out of 10,000. If we set the difference amount, difference limit 10 rupees 10, then can SAP allow to post the transaction, post the payment transaction difference amount of 2,000?
Yeah, it will allow. It will allow, because that's what I said. Because right now it is not possible to explain this practically, because we have to go for account payable related settings, and there will be a complete session, separate session on that, and that to multiple classes will be there. So generally in SAP, what is happening? So when you receive, when you like an invoice worth of 10,000 is posted, and you have received a payment worth of 8,000 right now, 2,000 you are going to receive later. So this is going to be posted in the form of, this is called partial payment. Okay, so this is going to be posted in the form of partial payment. System will allow. Okay, how it is going to allow? We'll see this practical. There will be a separate session. Okay, partial payment,
Okay, sir.
residual item. So what is the difference between these two and how it is going to be posted? We'll see later. Okay, but system will allow.
Oh, this is Sandeep here. Adding to the same point, can the discount be given on 8,000 as well as again on 2,000 also?
See, I'll tell you guys, logically it is not possible. Logically in the sense, like, if somebody is like, you think practically, right? Mostly what happen,
Yeah,
guys, on like partial payment, how discounts are going to be granted, isn't it? The thing is, like, once you receive a single payment, on that itself we are going to grant a discount, that okay, you just do one thing, this is the amount, you pay this much,
correct.
right? You pay this much, and
Yeah,
then we are going to, so it can be possible, there is no issues. Like, let's suppose we said like, you just do one thing, you can post, you can pay us like, let's suppose 8,000 rupees, and
huh.
20% discount we are going to give, right? So in that case, let's
Oh,
suppose vendor is going to post, vendor is saying that 6,000 I'm paying right now, and 2,000, remaining 2,000 I'm going to pay next time. It's okay. In that case also,
correct.
6,000 can be posted as a partial payment initially, and when you post remaining 2,000 rupees, at that point of time you can grant 20% discount, and then you can clear this line item. But I think, as I said, like, if I explain in details, lots of people will be getting confused. The reason behind is practically it is not possible to show,
Okay, fine. Thanks.
right? So I'll tell you guys, when we post like vendor related invoices and all later, when I start the account payable, at that point of time, if you ask these questions, I can show you practically whether it is possible or not. we can see this practically so that you'll be having a perfect understanding. Okay, so now here, so this is all about the tolerance group, guys. What is the use? Look at here, with the help of tolerance group, we can put certain restrictions. What kind of restrictions? The restrictions in terms of amount and discount. Okay, when you have to define a tolerance group, make sure that you are not going to enter any code here in group field, or else later you guys will be getting the error. Okay, why? Because I know that candidates means, of course, you guys are going to create multiple company code, isn't it? So you have given a group, a different group for one company code, another group for different company code, again another group for different company code, but only one, your user ID can be assigned against only one group. What about remaining 3 and 4 groups which you have created for other company codes? So you can, when you post, let's suppose you are having multiple company code. You have created like company code CC01. Let's suppose the code is CC01, CC02, CC03. 3 company code you have created. For this one you have created tolerance group 1, tolerance group 3. So if we talk about the assignment of user ID, guys, you can assign your user ID, right? Let's suppose your user ID you have assigned against only one tolerance group. You cannot assign the same user ID against this one and this one. No, only one tolerance group is going to be. So in that case, what is happening? In that case, you'll be having problem. However, we have a solution. We have a solution. I'll just do one thing. I'll try to explain in next session. Okay, we have a solution for this one. But again, for that, you're like that whatever you're thinking is there, that must be at a different level. But at this point of time, it is not possible. As I said, like, because you guys are like growing right now, isn't it? For me, like, let's suppose I'm having experience of, let's suppose, 14 years, isn't it? So these things are very basic for me. But for you people, like, you're starting your career, you're like starting your journey now. So that is why you're not able to think at that level. But don't worry, I'll tell you. For this one also, we are having solutions, right? What kind of solutions? I'll quote one example. And I'll explain it in next session. Okay. So I'll stop the session here itself, guys. That's all in this session.